So what can the immigrants expect from 2024? Because it's a new year, people really have their hopes high. So what would you like to tell them?
Yeah, so what the question is, basically you're asking me what to expect with reference to H1B registration for next year. And well, we don't know.
Okay.
I don't have a Pandora's box to kind of guess what will happen next year, but based on what information we're hearing, we're hoping that the H1B registration season will be, or the H1B season will be less chaotic than this year. We know what happened this year. We know that there were multiple registrations done by, beneficiaries, sometimes, as high as 50, 60, multiple registrations filed by one beneficiary, which, by the way, is allowed. But the problem is that then, because of those multiple registrations, a lot of people who filed just one registration were not able to get the benefit and were not selected. And the people who got selected, they were selected multiple times and they could only file one H1. So, we know that the cap, H1B cap, is limited to 65,000 plus 20,000 for masters. So a lot of numbers were, they couldn't use, so they had to have, multiple picks. That was one thing that happened. The second thing that happened is companies filed multiple registrations through their sister concerns and through their partner companies for the same beneficiary twice, thrice, 4 times, 5 times, with the intent of, increasing the chances of, their employees getting selected. And as soon as they did that, USCIS sent out a stern warning that if multiple registrations by the same employer, even if it is done by a group of companies together with the intent of, increasing the chances of the beneficiary getting picked, if that is done, then, those cases will get denied. There will be criminal repercussions for those cases. So as soon as they sent out that notification, a lot of, H1s were not filed. So for that reason also, though registrations got picked, they were not filed. So that's why the USCIS had, 2 lotteries this year. And I really not sure whether all the H1B numbers have been used up or not, even in those 2 lotteries. So that's number 2, what happened. And because of all this chaos, it's been a big mess. So right now, there has been, a preliminary regulation which is published. And as part of that preliminary regulation, there has been talk that, the multiple registrations, though they cannot stop beneficiaries from filing multiple registrations, but they will take away the incentive from the beneficiaries for filing multiple registrations, which means that no matter how many registrations you file, they will pick the registrations based on the passport number rather than the number of registrations. So if a beneficiary files 10 registrations, they will still only get 1 pick. So they no longer have an incentive to file registrations through 10 companies and use up 10 numbers, right? So we're hoping that they will do that. We don't know if that will happen for the cap season or not, because it's still a preliminary registration, unless they fast track, take out that one element of it, because there are many other elements in that federal register posting. So maybe they'll take out that one law and fast track it and do an expedite regulation on it. Let's see, without the comment period. We'll have to wait and see. But if that happens, that'll be great, because then there'll be some sort of normalcy to the process. And, that is what we're looking for. So that let's hope that happens. In addition to that, based on what happened last year, I'm hoping people would have learned this year that, multiple registrations through sister companies, through friends companies, it's futile to do that. So I'm hoping they won't do that anymore. And so, a combination of these factors, I'm hoping, will help to normalize the H1B registration process this year.
Okay, great. So I mean, because people are being hopeful, and you said a lot of things which people might have questions whether it is going to be good, whether it's going to be bad. So I mean, if you have to summarize it, so how would you like to say? I mean, should they be hopeful or should they be a little hopeless? I mean, how would you like to put it?
I think it would be better this year than it was last year.
Okay. Oh, okay. That's a great way to put it then. Thank you so much, Anani Prashanti, for answering the question.